something else that I felt was worth sharing with other piano teachers. My note dipping bags. I made the bags myself with fabric paint, but a simple paper bag, often decorated by the pupil themselves, will suffice just as well. These are aimed at younger beginners, but again can be enjoyed by all ages. The idea is really simple. Coloured notes with letter names written on them to be dipped from the bag. Children love dipping things out of the bag, and actually I quite enjoy it in the lessons too. We give them a shake, they dip a note out and place it on the piano and simply find the note. Like many teachers, I start off initially by getting them to find groups of 2 and 3 black notes, often starting with D rather than middle C, because I refer to it as 2 chocolate fingers with cream in the middle, creamy D. Then I get them to find all the Ds and various relevant notes. But after a couple of weeks, I find they're quite easily ready to start dipping the notes out of the bag, which they thoroughly enjoy. After dipping 2 or 3 notes, we have a little tune. I then get them to scramble the letters up, which encourages them to be inquisitive and start on the road to creativity. The possibilities are endless, and I had one delightful time when a young sibling left one of these little tunes she'd picked out of the bag on the piano when her sister came in. Her sister discovered it, played it, and started to add lyrics. I then started to add a harmony, and the two of us were engrossed for the next 10 minutes, working at each end of the piano on the same project. She was 7, and I was the teacher, and we both had a wonderful time creating together, which stemmed from this bag. The children can then do this at home, again with a non-musical parent or on their own, and find it enormous fun. To go with this, I also have a dynamics dipping bag, and right from the very first lesson explain to the children that more arm weight and a faster attack on the note gives them a louder sound, a stronger sound, and they can produce a range of dynamics, and they are in control. The softer dynamics are written in paler colours, white for PP, paler and a deeper pink for piano and mezzo piano, going right up through orange for forte and red for fortissimo. We can then dip a note from the note dipping bag and play a fortissimo G, or perhaps a piano D. And we can also place them underneath a group of notes, and they can learn about crescendos and diminuendos, so that by the time they get to the stage of playing music from a beginner's book, they know about dynamics, and very often then we go ahead and write in our own dynamics on pieces which don't have any, and they fully understand it, and it's great fun. For slightly more advanced players, but also I have used this with quite elementary players, a bag of articulation. Either the pupil can play these themselves, or I will pick out 2 or 3 and play them to the pupil, and they have to work out which one I'm playing. This also gets them to really look for articulation, and I find quite quickly, even with elementary pieces, they will notice whether it's staccato, legato or a mixture of both, and if they don't get it first time, correct it, and then I find it's correct for the remainder of the piece. All these bags are a fun way of introducing all these musical elements into the lesson, and I must admit I enjoy it too.